Yo, what's going on, guys? I just started recording. It just stopped recording for whatever reason, so I had to reset. But I hope everyone's doing well. For today's video, I wanted to go over my predictions for All NBA. So pretty much those end of the season awards, and who I think should win and who should be in these All NBA teams. Before I get into that, a couple things. First off, I changed the name of my channel. I went with Black Star Hoops. I named it after one of my favorite groups, Black Star, with Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Go check that out if you haven't. It's a good group, man. But yeah, Black Star Hoops. I got to come up with a profile picture or something. And the second thing is, for this video, man, this took me a long time. This took me a really long time to come up with this list. A lot of these guys, there's so many good guys, there's so many good rookies, so many good defenders. And I think what I had to realize was maybe the way I watch basketball, the way I enjoy the game has to change a little bit this upcoming season, maybe, or maybe this playoffs, because there's just too many good guys like these defenders. I wasn't really sure how you're making your all defensive list, how you're choosing your DPOY was very easy, luckily, but how you're choosing your all defensive, your all NBA, even your coach of the year. These things were pretty hard. But I was able to come up with a list. I'm like, maybe I'm new to this, so I wasn't really sure about what I was doing. But yeah, checking out all the stats, all the numbers, watching film, it was a lot that went into this. So I want your thoughts on maybe how you watch the game and what makes it easy for you when it comes to lists like this. What are you even factoring in? Because it gets pretty tricky when there's this many players. Realistically, there's like 50 players you're looking through to choose for all these teams, between all rookie, all NBA, and MVP. Before we get into this list, I wanted to go over this past week in the NBA. We saw some good games. Something I want to highlight was Cade's defense. This entire week has just been crazy. Between the Spurs game, where they kind of fell apart in that fourth, between they just played the Thunder, they barely won that, but they played really well. Cade is just everywhere on defense. I mean, I think we know Ausar Thompson is going to perform and what he's going to do on the ball, but Cade has been really good, man. Like, with his bigger size, he's getting blocks. It's almost like he's kind of funneling you in to the paint, and then he's blocking you. We saw so many blocks again. I think he had 3 against the Thunder, and I think he had 3 against the Spurs. And then against the Knicks, that was just crazy. That was more than a week ago. Overall, Cade's just a really good defender, though. I want to highlight that. Next thing in the NBA, James Harden. Get well soon. I know he just broke his finger or thumb or hand or something. But before this, James Harden and Jarrett Allen have looked so good. And I think we all expected either him or Evan Mobley to look good with the James Harden move. But James Harden and Jarrett Allen has been like, it's just fun to watch, dude. Jarrett Allen just has this like, he's just trying to kill the rim, bro. Every possession. It looks so good. And I'm hoping this translates to the offseason. I was talking to my friend, and we're talking about these pretenders and contenders in the East. And I want to say the Cavs are a real contender because James Harden doesn't really have to perform in the playoffs. We just need James Harden to kind of facilitate and to just keep his teammates in the game. We know what Donovan Mitchell could do in the playoffs. We know he's giving you those 50 balls, those 40 balls. That's a given. But if James Harden can alleviate some of the on-ball pressure, when you see, let's just say the Pistons or I don't even know about the Knicks. I didn't put them in this, but the Knicks, I don't even want to bring the Knicks up. But I don't know, when you see those defensive teams, like the Celtics even, will you be able to alleviate some of that pressure off Donovan Mitchell and still be able to create shots for Jarrett Allen? We even saw James create some shots for Donovan Mitchell in the corner. Don't remember if it was against OKC. I'll try to put a clip. But he was creating shots for everyone, alleviating pressure. So I've really enjoyed watching that. And I think there's a stat showing Jarrett Allen has improved a lot since James has arrived. Hopefully they can keep that rolling. Next, I wanted to highlight the Spurs and the Pistons. That game, man, that was like playoff basketball. And when I was watching this, I was talking to my roommate. I was like, I wish we had a top 16 seed for the playoffs. Not for the entire season, just for the playoffs, because the Spurs and the Pistons played the most physical, like grinded out basketball game I've seen in a while. I can try to find some clips. Jalen Duren was giving Wemby hell in that first half, man. He was hands all over him. It was getting chippy. Stephon Castle pushed down, or Cade pushed down Stephon Castle. He was defending. It was just an awesome game. So I wish I could see 7 games of that. We could see it in the finals. But yeah, I wanted to highlight that game. It was a lot of fun. Everyone came out to play. I hope I can see that again. Next, real quick, Kuminga put up 27 in his first games in Atlanta Hawk. Looked pretty good. Congrats to him. I hope we can see more of that. Moving on, to get into the main topic of the video, I have these NBA awards for the 2026 season. So that's all rookie, all NBA, coach of the year. I did everything here. This took a long time. And I know it's really subjective. So give me some grace on my first time. Also, if you have any thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I don't know. Let's just get some basketball conversation going. But to get into it, we're going to start with our all rookie teams. Starting with our all rookie first team, I went with Kon Knueppel, VJ Edgecombe, Cooper Flagg, Derek Queen, and Cedric Howard. So those are my 5 guys. I feel 3 of these guys realistically could be your rookie of the year between Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe, and Kon Knueppel. VJ Edgecombe's a little further off, but I don't know when Cooper Flagg is coming back. I know he's not playing today. As of today, it's Thursday. What is it today? It's Thursday, February something. So I don't know when Cooper Flagg is coming back. I'm assuming he's going to come back over the 65 game limit. So hopefully he can still win this. But 3 of these dudes are rookie of the year contenders. And then Derek Queen and Cedric Howard. Derek Queen, I really like what he's been doing. He shows flashes of just being a really good NBA player, doing a little bit of everything. Some defense needs a little work. But besides that, he's a really good player, like a little mini Jokic. And then Cedric Howard, he's in my first team. I was thinking about switching him with Ryan Kalkbrenner, which also I think he's going to make it, even though he had an injury earlier. You could put either of those guys in first team between Cedric and Ryan Kalkbrenner, but I went Cedric just because I think I'm glazing Ryan. I personally really like his defense and his shot making, so I wanted to put him in first, but I know Cedric Howard has played very well, so I went ahead and put him first. For my second team, I went Dylan Harper, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Ace Bailey, Jeremiah Fears, and Trey Johnson. This second team is pretty loose. You could kind of move players around as you want. I think Dylan Harper and Ryan Kalkbrenner are the only real locks, because Ace Bailey, I like him, but he seems pretty raw. I think he needs to sharpen a little bit. Now, I'm not saying he's bad. It's his rookie year, but I had some honorable mentions. Maxime Reynard from the Kings, Igor Demon from the Nets, and Nick Clifford from the Kings. And Trey Johnson obviously is a 3-point shooter, which has been very entertaining to watch. I really like Trey Johnson. For rookie of the year, actually, before I move on to rookie of the year, I also want to say Queen and Harper. I think you can switch those two. So I think you could put Derek Queen in second team and Dylan Harper in first team, because Dylan Harper's role is obviously a little bit smaller than the rest of these guys. He's coming off the bench, but at his role, he's been able to show everyone what he can do, and he can hit big shots. 3-point shooting needs to improve. I didn't think he was that bad of a shooter, but I looked at his percentage and it wasn't too good. Maybe it's the shots he's taking, I'm not sure, but wasn't looking good, so he needs to improve on that. But I think you can put him in first team. He's been really good. I think this was pretty obvious. I went Cooper Flagg. He's giving you 20 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. He's just been looking like a monster when he plays, man. He had that 49-point game, and he also had that 43-point game. Don't remember who it was against. Was one of them against the Spurs? I'm not sure. Overall, he can do everything, man. He'll get to the rim. He's got a nice mid-range jumper. It doesn't look normal. It's definitely unique, but he can get his shots up. And I guess it's kind of similar to Brandon Ingram, I guess. He's just getting to his spots and he's going up over you. And on the defensive end, he could rebound very well. I like that about Cooper Flagg. He could rebound very well. He gets some blocks. He'll get in your way. And he'll defend shots well. My runner-up was obviously Khan. Runner-up was was definitely a good choice. If you want Khan to win and you picked Khan, I don't think that's a bad choice. I think Cooper Flagg has just had a really good season. Yeah, I think it can go either way, but I personally went with Cooper Flagg. Those big performances from Cooper Flagg. I think Khan did have a 37-point game. I don't think he's had a 40 yet. Both these dudes have played well, so I'm giving it to Cooper Flagg. Congrats, and I hope he has a good career. Hopefully he's not injured and he comes back looking good. Moving on to these defensive teams, I wanted to start with the Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama was averaging 24 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks per game. I think he can only miss a couple more games before he's out of the contention, but assuming he doesn't, I have him as my winner. But some stats I wanted to point out for Victor Wembanyama that was really cool to me was his defensive rebounding percentage, which is a 33%, which was third all time between, I didn't know this guy, he's a Clipper, Swen Nader and Andre Drummond. He was first, and this guy was second. Swen Nader was second, and Victor Wembanyama this season would be third all time, which is really impressive if he keeps up the pace. Next was his block percentage. So he was in the 100th percentile at 10%. He's the best at blocking shots when he's on the floor. And when he's not blocking shots, he's changing them. And if he's not changing them, you're not even taking them. It's crazy his impact on the defensive end. I think we saw it a lot during the Spurs game. Like, if he was just in there, I mean, the Spurs game, obviously the fucking Spurs game. I meant the Pistons game. When he's in that area, even if he's like on the other end of the key, he's impacting shots. I remember Cade, I'll find a clip of this. Cade was running in to hit a lay, and Wemby came from the left side of the key and swatted his shit off the backboard. Like, what Wemby's doing is insane. And he's also the league leader, damn, in percentage change. So when Wemby is guarding you, you're a minus 8.2% shooter. So you go from 49% to 41. So I thought that was a pretty easy Defensive Player of the Year if he's eligible. Next, let's move on to these defensive teams. This one, I think this was the hardest choice to make because it's so subjective and there's so many good players. So yeah, if you have a different list, go ahead and leave it. Let me know what you think, where I went wrong, what you would have done. But let's get into this all defensive first team. I had Amen Thompson, Ausar Thompson, Evan Mobley, Chet Holmgren, and Wemby. I'm going to double check this Evan Mobley. I'm not sure if he's eligible. But if he is, I'll have him there. Something interesting I had was Amen Thompson. I had him on here. His differential percentage is a minus 7.2 greater than 15 feet. So a lot of these times, if he's guarding outside of the key, he's really impacting your shot and making it hard. Whether it's a three-pointer or mid-range, Amen Thompson is a ball stopper, man. Same with his brother, Ausar Thompson, who had a matchup difficulty of 93, which is one of the highest in the league. And he's having a defensive turnover percentage. So he's getting you to turn over the ball, which was why I picked him. He's like an off-ball or an on-ball pest. I think we've seen this with the Knicks. I think Ausar Thompson's done a really good job of defending on the ball, like taking Jalen Brunson out the game. He also did the same with De'Aaron Fox in that Spurs game the other day. When he's committed to getting the ball out of your hands, he'll make it happen. Evan Mobley, Chet, and Wemby, pretty obvious picks. Honorable mention was Caruso. He's turning dudes over very often, but I don't think he has enough games. He's not going to make it. I think he already's out. Next was my second team, and this one was really hard. There's so many names crossed out here, like crossed and rewritten and honorable mentions. But I have Dyson Daniels, Scotty Barnes, Draymond Green, Rudy Gobert. And I have Evan Mobley twice. I made a mistake here. But there's so many honorable mentions. You can put whoever the hell you want. Some dudes I didn't include was Donovan Clingan, Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't think he can make it. Derek White, Neemias Queta, Lou Dort, Jaylen Brown, Cade Cunningham, Stephon Castle, Jordan Walsh, Chris Dunn, and Ryan Dunn. All really good defenders. So this one I'm not really too sure about. And to be honest, I think I need to find a new way to kind of keep track of defenders because I wasn't really sure how to do the second team. It wasn't as obvious to me. Oh, also OG Anunoby. He could be in that second team. So, yeah, that's it for the second team. A little bit complicated to put together. Moving on, we have our executive of the year. This one was a lot of fun. I think I'm most confident in this one because a lot of these executives made good moves, and I wanted to highlight my top three because there was a lot of good moves. In third place, I have my own Clippers. I got the Clippers in third, so that's Trent Redden, the GM, or Lawrence Frank. I'm not sure who you would give it to. I'm not sure how that works. But some of the big moves we made was Giannis, Kobe Sanders, and Jordan Miller. We had Jordan Miller, but I think we signed him to a real contract. Kobe Sanders and Giannis are two drafted rookies. They've been performing very well. Giannis has had some like growing pains, I guess, through a lot of fouling, some dumb decisions. But I think he's going to be a good player, and I think with some improvements, we can see him become a full-time starter over Brook. Next was the Darius for Harden move. You know, in hindsight, seeing what James Harden is doing, you say, hey, he's playing really good. You should have kept him. But as his team gets older between him and Kawhi, I think we had to make some moves, and the whole he wanted to get paid, whatever he wanted to move for. So I think Darius for Harden was as good of a move as you can make. Next move the Clippers made was Ivica Zubac for Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and 2 unprotected first-round picks. I think technically the Clippers got 1 unprotected first-round pick, and they have some weird protections on this upcoming pick. If it's between 5 and 9, we'll get it. Otherwise, we get an unprotected first-round pick from like 2031. I just call it 2 first-round picks because either way, it's going to be a top pick unless it's the 2031 and the Pacers end up good. Overall, a good move. Benedict Mathurin has looked amazing for the Clippers. I think Isaiah Jackson coming back from injury might be able to get some off-the-bench minutes. Next was Brook. The Brook move was good. He's been a good defender. He's played some good minutes for us. It's kind of hard to watch sometimes, but I guess the stats show he plays good, so we'll count that as a plus. The last move we made is pretty detrimental in my opinion, but it was a CP3 move. I just needed to highlight that. Our executives weren't perfect. We kicked CP3 out and sent him home when we were in Atlanta at the beginning of the season. Wasn't a fan of that move, but overall I think the Clippers did pretty good with our front office. So we have the Washington Wizards, and this is going to be Will Dawkins. So the Wizards, I think this is an obvious one. This wasn't running for 1. It was between 1 and 2, but I ended up going 2. So the moves they made was they had CJ McCollum for a little bit, who he played well. I think he had a 40-point game, and he carried a good load of the team, and he played well. Next was Trey Johnson, the rookie. That guy's been impressive. A lot of shooting, a lot of fun basketball. Overall, a good pickup. Next, we have the first trade for Trae Young, which was CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, who have both looked good in Atlanta, but Trae Young with no unprotected picks, no picks at all. I mean, his value was low coming off injury and just being Trae Young. But flipping for just CJ and Corey, I thought was really good. And yeah, it was a good move. The next move we had was them flipping Bagley, AJ Johnson, and Chris Middleton for 2 years of AD, 3 years of Jaden Hardy. They got D'Lo and Exum too, but I don't think D'Lo's gonna even report or something. And Dante Exum is injured. I like this pick because they didn't have to give up any picks. I think they gave up a Thunder first-round pick from this year, but it's not going to be worth anything, obviously. And then just their young pieces: Bilal Coulibaly, Bub Carrington. They're going to have Trae Young, Keyshawn, and then also Anthony Davis, along with Will Riley. They just got a full team coming back next year, and I think if everyone's healthy and we see some progression from our young guys, the Wizards might be a team to make some noise in the East. So I'm excited to see what they do next year. And congrats to the Wizards for some good moves. Moving on. My number 1 is the Hornets. Jeff Peterson. I like what they did this year, especially bringing on so many rookies who have performed just like way more than we thought they would. So Ryan Kalkbrenner, Sion James, Konka Nipple, Liam McNeely, even PJ Hall has put on some good minutes as of late. So those young guys have really been leading the pack and like making them relevant. So I think those moves alone kind of warrant them being number one. I can see why he put the Wizards first because of next year. Like next year, they could actually make some noise in the East. But for right now, I think the Hornets earn number one just from the current today. Next was their move. They moved Ousmane Dieng, Colin Sexton for Coby White, who recently made his debut against the Bulls, actually. So, yeah, Coby White just debuted, had a good little game. I think he had 10 points. I don't recall. But he could be a good punch off the bench. I like that move. I guess maybe I'm a victim of the moment, and I should have gone the Wizards. But I really like everything the Hornets have done. I like the way their team is looking. Next year, realistically, if they run back what they had last year or this year with this exact same team, it's possible this is a playoff team with some progression. So yeah, congrats to Jeff Peterson and the Hornets for some good moves this season. Moving on, Coach of the Year. So this was a hard one for me. I was kind of torn between Mitch Johnson and who I chose, Joe Mazzulla. So congrats to the Boston Celtics and Joe Mazzulla. I'm giving him Coach of the Year. Offensive rating is second in the NBA, only behind the Nuggets. And their defensive rating is seventh, behind. I mean, I can't even really fault them. There's some good defensive teams right now between OKC, Detroit, and the Spurs. So overall, they're doing good on both sides of the ball, and they're last in turnovers, so they're taking care of the ball. Everyone is buying in. And I feel like they've been able to utilize some of their pieces who other teams wouldn't be able to. Sam Hauser's been shooting so well. Neemias Queta has been a defender. He's been a crazy defender. Same with Jordan Walsh. You got Luka Garza. All these dudes are just buying in and playing good basketball. Jaylen Brown has been having a arguably MVP season. We'll talk about that later. But overall, I wanted to give this Coach of the Year to Joe Mazzulla. This was one of those things that I wasn't really sure how you really pick it. I think for next season, I'll find some new ways to get some metrics to pick a Coach of the Year. But I went with Joe Mazzulla. Lost to Jason Tatum. You're the second in the East. And we'll see what happens if Jason Tatum comes back. This team might even be in championship contention. I think they are either way, but they might be a favorite out the East if Jason Tatum comes back. Moving on, I have my most improved. This was a good one. I think there was a lot of improved players this year. A lot of people to choose from. You had a lot of good options. Keontae George, Ryan Rollins, Nickeil Alexander, Denny, Jalen Duren, Jalen Johnson. A lot of good players. I got Jalen Johnson. So this guy's averaging 23 points per game, which is a plus 4.1. 8 assists, which is a plus 3. And 10.6 rebounds, which is around the same. This guy's pretty much a triple-double machine. I don't know if he has that many, but I feel like he just can do everything. He's 3% better shooting from three, playing the same minutes per game. One of the things that kind of sold me was he didn't play very much last year. I think he played 30 games. He was injured. So he pretty much is coming back not only from an injury, but pretty much 2 years removed. Come back and shoot this well to increase your points, increase your rebounds, or not your rebounds, and your assists to become that kind of playmaker. I think that was really impressive, and he's led the Atlanta Hawks to a 28-31. Moving on is our Clutch Player of the Year award. If you're not familiar with what that means, it's the last 5 minutes of the game when you're up or down two, within 5 points. This one was really easy. It's Anthony Edwards, because he averages 6 points in clutch time, which was leading by a lot. I think some dudes were like 3 or 4, even like 4.8, I think was the second highest. He's giving you 6. And he's shooting 58% from the field, 35% from three-point field goal range. Some games that come to mind was that Spurs game against Wemby. I don't remember if they won. It was a game Wemby put up 50 and I think Ant put up 40. And then recently the Mavs game. Kind of choked the lead. They ended up winning against the Mavs. But when Ant at the end of the game gets that ball, he can get to the rim at will. He's getting to the rim. He's taking the worst shot in basketball, a contested long two. It's my favorite shot. That's my favorite shot. Fun fact though, while I was looking through stats here, Jalen Green at the time, probably not anymore, was leading with 15 clutch time points per game because of their double OT win against, was it the Magic? I think it was the Magic. But I thought it was funny he was averaging so many points. They went to double overtime. So I guess all of those counted as clutch minutes. So good job, Jalen Green. He's been performing well, too, since he came back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Moving on to our sixth man of the year. This was also kind of a hard one, but I ended up going with Naz Reid. Some notable players was Reed Shepard, Keldon Johnson, Tim Hardaway. Anthony Simons, I didn't see him anywhere on anyone's list, but he's had a good season. Maybe it's because he was on the Bulls. He's on the Bulls, but he was on the Celtics. I don't know. Naz Reid, and then Jaime Jaquez. I liked AJ Mitchell. He would have been in my top 3, but he hasn't played enough, I guess. Only 34 bench games. Honorable mention was Dylan Harper, because his stats don't really stand out, but I think just from watching the Spurs, I guess I'm kind of like a secondary Spurs fan, I'll say. He puts a lot of effort in when he's on the court, and he does a lot that the numbers don't show, like getting 2 feet in the paint, kicking the ball out, making good moves, good passes and whatnot. But I went with Naz Reid. So my finalist was Keldon Johnson and Jaime Jaquez, but I went with Naz Reid. He's averaging 14 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and he's shooting about 40% from 3. That's insane. I like Keldon Johnson as a hustle guy. I liked his rebounding. I like his energy. But when it comes to being like skilled and being the best for the team, I think Naz Reid is a good punch off the bench. So I ended up going with him. Moving on to our all-NBA teams and our MVP. For my first team, I went SGA, Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Brown, Wembanyama, and Jokic. That's my first team. My second team is Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Maxey, Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Brunson. This second team is really funny because they're all guards. There's no bigs. But if you wanted to, I think you could argue that Luka Doncic is first team and Jaylen Brown is second team. I would listen to that argument. Also, SGA, Wemby, and Jokic might not even make it just because of injuries. But yeah, so 3 of those guys could be moved around. Finally, my third team, this one's controversial. You could kind of put whoever you want here. But I went Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Jamal Murray, James Harden, and Scotty Barnes. Kawhi Leonard, I'm not sure if people are going to have him on their list, but I think he's a lock for all NBA. If he makes the amount of time, because he's out again today. It's Thursday. What day is it? February 26th is a Thursday. So Clippers are playing the Timberwolves today. If Kawhi Leonard plays enough games, I think he should be a lock. Jamal Murray definitely earned it. James Harden is kind of borderline, but I put him on here just as a Clippers fan. I've seen a lot of him, and I've loved what he's doing on the Cavs. Get well soon. Supposedly, he's going to be playing through this injury, which is that's a James Harden thing to do. He's always playing. And Scotty Barnes have been a good season, very versatile guy. Do everything, Swiss Army knife. If any of these guys are out for injury, I have a little 1-2. I guess I have a fourth team that you can sub in. I have Denny, Sengun, Cat, Jalen Duren, and Chet. Cat is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial. Cat is a controversial one because he hasn't had that good of a season if you're looking at his stats, but lately he's been clutch. He's been hitting big shots, and I think he's been a good defender. I've enjoyed how he's defending. So I put Cat on here as a replacement option in case any of these guys don't make it, which I don't think a few of them will. I don't think Jokic is going to make it. He can only miss one more game. Wemby might not make it. And SJ has 1 or 2 more weeks to be reevaluated, so it's definitely possible he doesn't make it. Hopefully he does, because he is actually in my MVP race against Jokic. Those are my 2 finalists. And I think they should be everyone's finalist. So Jokic is averaging 29, 12.5 rebounds, 10.5 assists, shooting 42% from the 3. Shea is averaging 32, giving you 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, super efficient, 55% from the field, and 39% from the 3. But I ended up going with Jokic, and what did it for me was the on and off numbers between both of these guys. So to get into it, there's 1,300 minutes with Jokic on the court. And when he's on the court, your defense is 22nd in the NBA, but you're first in offense. And you have a net rating of plus 12. So when Jokic is on the court, you're up 12. There's 1,200 minutes of Jokic off the court. When he's off, you're 9th in offense, and you're 28th in defense, and you're a net rating of minus 4. So this guy is kind of the entire team. I mean, they did float without him. They did good. Jamal Murray played well when they didn't have Jokic. But that's just like insane on and off numbers. I wanted to keep it fair, so I compared with SGA. 1,500 minutes with him. You're first in offense, you're first in defense, and you have a plus 15 net rating with him on the court. And when you're off the court at around 900 minutes, you're 25th in offense, but you're still first in defense, and you have a plus 6.2. But I think you can't go wrong picking either of these dudes. I just went with Jokic because it's like he's averaging a triple-double. If he makes it, I think you got to give it to him, man. Obviously, OKC's first in the West, and he's done most of this without J-Dub. So next, I guess that's it for the races. But for the MVP, I have a secondary running, and this is between Cade and Jaylen Brown. Luka has been like, he put up insane numbers. He's averaging 33, 8, and 9 pretty much. You could give him MVP. If these two dudes at the top, if Shea and Jokic are out, and you want to give Luka the MVP, I wouldn't argue with you. I wouldn't say you're wrong. But personally, I think Cade and Jaylen Brown have earned this award. Either one of them. They're first and second in the East. Cade is first. Jaylen Brown is second. I think it's between these two. I went with Jaylen Brown, who's averaging 29, 7, and 5 with a 36% usage rating. Realistically, if you told me before the season that the Boston Celtics are going to be second in the East with with top defensive rating in the NBA, everyone ever would think you're crazy. So for him to do this and average this much and still be putting on both sides of the ball, I think he has to be your MVP. Just coming to mind, one of the performances that's like the epitome of Jaylen Brown this season was that Clippers game where he put up 50, I think. Or I think they beat us twice. I don't remember. But I just remember him suffocating Kawhi Leonard. And Jaylen Brown was putting up 50, and they got the win. It's like, what he's been doing is amazing. And I don't mean to discount Cade Cunningham, who's having a good season at 25, 6, and 10. But I think Jaylen Brown, who's supposed to be having a down year, the team's supposed to have an off year. If they were a play-in team or just out the playoffs, we wouldn't be surprised. But for what he's doing, I think he kind of earned this MVP. But overall, halfway through the season, there's been so many good players, so much interesting basketball. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good day. I hope you're enjoying these games. Be safe, man. Take care. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.